The intuitive world has told me to start this video off with Yabba Dabba Doo. For all you old timers who used to watch the Flintstone cartoons. Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 4. I am Gat, your host. A viewer requested a full life purpose analysis, which you're about to hear. Then we'll go into a twin flame analysis between her and two gentlemen. She wants to know which one may be her possible twin flame, so we're going to do that too. Keep in mind that all information comes with a free worksheet, so you can use your worksheet when you need to, and also it gives you like your websites for your horoscopes if you want to use them, or if you want to know your guardian angel's name, you'll have it. And in your natal worksheet explains all the houses of the zodiac to you, all the archangels, how they correspond with the houses, and any information, any links you have in case there's a Capricorn Cancer connection, which means you should go listen to Santos. We give you the links because Santos can explain that to you. And in numerology is all there on the free links as well, so you can click right on the websites and go right to the websites as well. People who are interested in past life, there's a website for that too. Just got to be careful. I'm not really sure of it. It's relatively new, but when I use it, I just wasn't confident that they were accurate. But I put it there just in case. Alrighty, again, we will get started. The next voice you will hear shall be the expert. He's calculating.
Hi, Velma. Thanks for requesting your free numerology reading here at numerologist.com. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to give you a quick yet deeply revealing analysis of your unique numerology chart based on your given name and date of birth. Velma, there are 5 elements that form the core of your chart and that most massively impact your life. They are the life path, birthday number, soul urge, expression, and personality number. And by intimately understanding your numbers, you'll uncover many fascinating truths about who you are, how others perceive you, and the unique opportunities that lay ahead. The most important number in your numerology chart is your life path. It reveals your most fulfilling life direction and the major lessons you're here to learn. It highlights the specific opportunities and challenges you'll encounter and your unique personality traits that will help you on your journey. Your life path is calculated by simply adding up the digits of your date of birth. Your life path number is 1, and this tells me a lot about you. Velma, you're a born leader and an absolute authority in your field. Like your life path implies, you are destined to be number 1. You are ambitious, confident, self-motivated, fiercely independent, and have a rare talent that is guaranteed to put you in the spotlight at least once in your life. You are very good at getting the ball rolling and initiating new projects, but tire of routine and highly detailed tasks quickly. When confronted with obstacles, your unwavering inner strength and sense of self acts as a beacon others are inspired to follow. Your assertive nature and willingness to do whatever it takes keeps you ahead of the pack and is key to your success in life. While it often may feel like you face more challenges or difficulties in life than others, it's only because you're more ready and able to handle the risk. It's your job to step up, break away from the status quo, and inspire those around you. Do this, and you'll effortlessly achieve your full life path potential. Next, let's look at what is known as your expression. This is another extremely important element in your numerology chart, as it highlights your natural talents and abilities, many you likely didn't know you had. It's often called the destiny number because it reveals a great deal about your potential and what you're meant to accomplish in this lifetime. While your life path is calculated using your date of birth, your expression is calculated by analyzing the letters of your full name at birth. Why your name? It represents the inheritance of your personal history up to the moment of your birth. Each letter and corresponding number, like a mosaic, combine to form the complete picture of who you are and who you're meant to be. Your name at birth is said to be the blueprint of your potential. To get a free personalized expression reading based on your full name, please enter it below.
Give me a second, I'm entering it now. Okay, he's calculating. You'll hear his voice soon. Give me a second. I don't know what this guy's problem is. Hey, buddy, get to work. All right. Yeah, he is. He really is. His hand connecting. Here we go.
Hey again. I'm so glad you decided to stick around and get your personalized expression reading based on your full name at birth. As you'll see for yourself in just a moment, your expression number, or what is sometimes referred to as your destiny number, is one of the most telling elements in your numerology chart. Unlike your life path number, which uncovers your most fulfilling life direction and the major lessons you're meant to learn along the way, your expression number produces a highly potent and accurate profile of who you are and the magic you put out into the world. It reveals the innate gifts you were born with and predicts your ultimate potential. Your expression number is calculated by adding up all the digits that correspond to the letters of your birth name using the Pythagorean alphabet. It can be a bit time-consuming to do the math by hand, so I took the liberty of calculating and interpreting your expression number for you. Velma, based on my calculations, your expression number is 9, and after getting to know you a bit better, it's really no surprise. 9 is the number of quiet power. You're independent, compassionate, and highly sensitive. While you have strong emotions, you have more resilience and tolerance than most. You see disappointment as opportunity and challenge as adventure, and because of this, you're always progressing and expanding. Your greatest gift is your ability to recover quickly from setbacks. Your get up and try again attitude is the key to your success, so keep it up. You've probably found that failure only knocks at your door when you focus too much time and energy on obtaining material wealth and power, and that's because you're more spiritually evolved than most. You believe that winning is about coming out right rather than coming out on top. You have a rare gift of unmatched compassion and wisdom. Continue to cultivate this and channel your power into helping others, and you'll bring joy and success into the lives of everyone around you, including yourself. Velma, please know that there is still so much left to explore in your unique numerology chart. And if you'll allow me, I'd like to give you even more insight into your life, relationships, and true purpose by analyzing your soul urge number. Your soul urge number, also called your heart's desire number, represents the inner you. It exposes your hidden motivations, deepest cravings and urges, likes and dislikes. It reveals the true intention behind most of your actions and decisions. In just a minute, you'll discover your soul urge number and meaning. But first, to make sure this reading is as customized and accurate as possible to your current life circumstances, I just need a bit more information from you. Please go ahead and enter it now below. You'll also see that we ask for your email address. This is so we can send you written transcripts of your personalized reading, so you can refer back to anytime you'd like. When you enter your email address, you'll also become part of our thriving community and receive regular updates, special invites, and content from our panel of expert columnists. This is completely optional, but we'd hate to see you miss out on the few surprises we have planned for you. So if you'd like to stick with us, leave your best email address below. Then, please double check that the information you entered is accurate, and then click the Continue with my free reading button to dive even deeper into your new.
Give it a moment, he's calculating.
I've got all the information I need to complete your personalized numerology reading, and you guessed it, I saved the best for last. Now, a word of caution. The information I'm about to share with you is incredibly intimate and may raise a hair or two. Most people are often shocked at the accuracy of these readings, and I think you will be too after you hear the intriguing truths I've discovered about your personality, hidden motivations, and true purpose. If you choose to listen on, do so with an open mind, and this insight is sure to bring you immeasurable rewards. I'll start by examining your soul urge number. Your soul urge, also called your heart's desire, shows what your soul needs to grow and evolve in life and relationships. Like your expression number, it's derived from assigning numerical values to the letters of your full birth name using the Pythagorean alphabet. Except, in the case of your soul urge, you look only at the vowels. Here's why. Consonants are pronounced with sharp edges and have a definitive beginning or end. They represent your public personality and the traits you outwardly share with the world. On the other hand, vowels are pronounced from free-flowing breath and have softer edges. They represent the true, tender, and often hidden you, and reveal your deepest soul urges, many you likely didn't know you had. The famous Renaissance doctor, translator, and astrologer Marsilio Ficino devoted much of his life to studying the incredible ways one's life improves when he or she follows the promptings of the soul. The benefits he encountered were undeniable. So, are you curious to know what your soul urge says about you? After analyzing the vowels of your full birth name, I've discovered that your soul urge number is 6. Whether you know it yet or not, you have a strong sense of responsibility and are the one person everyone turns to for help. You are a great lover of home and family and seek to make peace rather than disturb it. You have an innate sense of beauty, harmony, and compassion, and a strong calling to be a counselor, peace worker, artist, or teacher. Because of your diplomatic nature, you are often called on to settle disagreements in both your private and professional life. You have a tendency to put your needs on the chopping block in order to help others, but it's only because it's your soul's urge to work for a grand cause that supports your sense of contribution. You are a true humanitarian, but be careful not to get into situations where you are doing everything for everyone or being taken advantage of. Allow yourself to be supported from time to time, and there's no doubt that you'll achieve the appreciation, respect, and harmony your soul craves. When it comes to relationships, you value companionship and commitment. It can be hard for you to move forward in life without a sharing and stable partnership. You have a sensitive nature that can make you a bit vulnerable, but allows you to reach deeper levels of love than most. You would do just about anything to make the one you love happy, which makes you nearly the perfect companion. But that's not all I've discovered about you. Like an onion, you have many, many layers, and after digging a little deeper into your numerology chart, I can see that you have plenty of unique traits and personality quirks left to explore. Velma, my impression of you is that you aren't as relaxed as you should be. I sense a lot of nervous energy, and that your mind is always going in a million different places. That isn't to say you aren't confident, because I think you actually have a great deal of self-esteem and are quite expressive. I envision you doing some sort of physical activity as a way to clear your head, perhaps dancing, walking, yoga, or some sort of aerobics. I see you as very feminine, cultured, and powerful, and not at all a wild woman. I sense you are a very kind and giving person and probably couldn't play bad cop if you tried. Although sometimes you give too much and don't get much back. The trick is to find balance in your relationships. I think you have an investigative mind. I wouldn't call you naive or oblivious. In fact, you don't miss much, but sometimes you can be a bit of a dreamer, which may lead to some impractical decisions. I get the sense that you are very family and community-oriented. You enjoy being around and helping others, and you will thrive in marriage. It's likely that you've been with many different types of men, but through no fault of your own, you've attracted men that really didn't deserve you or appreciate what you had to offer. I suspect you have either a failed marriage or a long-term relationship behind you. This man wasn't ready to put you first in his life, which left you feeling frustrated. I also sense that you've been with a man in the past who was more of a best friend. While he cared for you very much, was able to provide for you, and gave you emotional security, the lust and passion was missing in a relationship, which is why it ended. Now, you tend to be quite selective with whom you choose to be with, but feel immense gratitude for everything you've learned about yourself through your past relationships. You have transformed into a stronger and more independent person. I sense that you are much more self-reliant and non-judgmental than you once were. Velma, because you're so young at heart, I get the feeling that you attract a lot of younger men, but there seems to be too much of a generation gap to interest you. They're still into the whole bar scene, and you've been there, done that. I don't think you're into the drinking type. It's likely that your friends have tried to play matchmaker in your life at one time or another, and you've probably been on at least one blind date. But at this point, you'll always know very quickly whether there's potential for a relationship, and it's rarely there. While many people, especially your family members, wonder if you'll ever get married, I sense that you will. You will meet your soulmate when you least expect it, and he will be unlike any man you've dated before. You will feel inspired by this person and will experience things you wouldn't ordinarily experience. I picture your future husband as someone who is a nurturer, a man who is mellow and sensitive, like a big teddy bear who has already sown all of his oats. This man will be ready to put you first. He will be your counterpart and will love your strength and sensuality. There will be fireworks with this man, although he was a bit intimidated by you at first. I see you with children, either biological or adopted, and I believe there are exciting things in store for you over the next 9 years. They will be far more rewarding than the last 9. Just be sure to let go of any excess baggage and cut the cords to any past relationships that are no longer serving you. You are in complete control of your destiny. This may be hard to believe, but the information I've shared with you over the last few minutes barely scratches the surface of what I can discover about you by digging deeper into your numerology chart. After just looking at your life path, expression, and soul urge numbers, I can say that you have a truly unique number combination. In fact, there's nothing I'd love more than to spend hours exploring every aspect of your chart, and that includes analyzing the numbers that appear to be missing altogether. But as you can probably imagine, our resources are limited, and we have to draw the line somewhere with how much information we can freely give away, without even being sure yet that you're ready to go deeper and experience the powerful, yet often confronting truths hidden in your personal numerology chart. So far, I've just given you a brief overview, but if you're open to it, I'd like to send you your complete numerology report, where I'll take a deep dive into every single element of your chart to reveal many more obscure facets of your personality and ultimate potential. For example, I can look at your 4th core number to determine the closest thing you have to a superpower, or tell you the ways you can bring more success and joy into your life by examining your hidden passion number. Your personality number will reveal what your friends or even strangers think about you. And after looking into your rational thought number, I'll be able to tell you, without a shadow of a doubt, the quickest way you can solve any problem or hit those big goals. Then there's your karmic lessons, planes of expression, balance number, challenge numbers, and pinnacles, which reveal the 4 biggest obstacles you'll face in your lifetime and how to overcome them. So, as you can see, there's a lot left to discover. And frankly, most of it is far too personal to share with you here. I'd much prefer to thoughtfully decipher your calculations and send you a private report that you can print out and pore through while curled up on the couch with a cup of tea, almost as if a master numerologist is there with you, conducting a personal reading in your living room. So, if you're ready, just click the button below, and within seconds, we'll get to work compiling your complete numerology report that includes not only expanded versions of the readings I just gave you, but detailed and thorough interpretations of every single element in your chart. That's over 900 individual calculations, all about you. Trust me when I say this will be unlike anything you've read before. You'll uncover the different facets of your personality that combine to make you the person you are, including characteristics you thought no one knew about. You'll finally make sense of the struggles and setbacks you faced in your life and how to breeze over them the next time they appear. You'll discover your most precious gifts and talents and how to use them to improve your career and relationships. And with daily readings for the next 2 years, plus monthly predictions for the next 9 years, you'll know exactly how to wake up every single day feeling blissfully happy. It's my goal to make sure you never miss another opportunity or experience a surprise setback that holds you back from living your best life. Can you imagine how having this information will change the way you live your life? The way you show up in your relationships and the decisions you make? This report will be like your roadmap to a happier, more abundant and joyful life. And there's nothing I want more than for you to get there as soon as possible. So I encourage you to click the button below now to get your complete numerology report. We'll get started on it right away and have it sent to your inbox within minutes. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How can they possibly send me a complete personalized numerology report in just a matter of minutes? Well, first, let me assure you that this is not one of those generic horoscope-style readings that applies to everyone. Every single interpretation and prediction you're about to read is generated using your personal numbers and some highly advanced mathematical equations. You see, mathematics is the backbone of numerology, and by intimately understanding it, along with complex computer science, we're able to develop a top-secret proprietary software that can process even the most complicated formulas to produce extremely detailed and shockingly accurate readings all about you, and doing in minutes what would otherwise take days. There's only one copy of this software in the world, and it's on a cloud-based supercomputer that only we have access to. we're on standby, waiting to plug in your numbers and generate what we're proud to say is the most comprehensive and accurate numerology report available anywhere. Simply click the button below to give us the green light. And when you order now, we'll send you 10 additional bonuses along with your report. These reports and tools have been handcrafted to help you decipher the most fascinating and puzzling parts of your personality, life, career, and future. They are the Phone Number Phenomenon Report. This report shows you how to decode and analyze the hidden meaning of your phone number, or the phone number of anyone you meet, considering doing business with or pursue a new relationship with. The Low Shoe Personality Exposer. First impressions are everything. This powerful tool will help you expose and intimately understand the personal traits of anyone you come in contact with in just 10 seconds. The Good Luck Multiplier System. Everything is energy, including luck. This report will look at your most important core numbers and reveal the quickest way to tap into the frequency of abundance so you can attract more luck into your life. Mastering the Matrix. Want to increase your income, improve your health, or energize your relationships? This simple 4-step system will show you how to use your personal Omega Matrix to turn your deepest desires into reality. The Wardrobe Secret. This report reveals how...
All right, we got a lot of synchronicities going on, so I want to tell her that first and foremost. But what I want to give this guy some props, and I'm going to tell you why. Because she didn't state whether she had ever been married or anything like that. So I didn't have that information. I didn't want to hold it up any further. So they have a selection that you can pick single. But even if you, I'm assuming if she has been married, which I don't know, it would have had to have been divorced. So I would have had to pick that one, which still would have said single. It goes divorced, but it still says single right next to it. So I said, well, you know what? She didn't say. I'm just going to put single, because I don't know for sure. And don't want to, put it out there like that. He still said it. He still said, I think you've been divorced before, blah, blah, blah. So he still called it because I put single. So I don't even know why he brought that up. So I want to give him his props for that because that took a little bit of intuitive stuff. Okay, as you heard that noise. So before I go further, I want to get this video uploaded. I've been getting a lot of good news that I haven't been sharing with you guys about my twin. I've been waiting for some confirmation, and I got some tonight. So that video will be online tonight, which is January 30th. And it's funny because the mother always comes around at like the end of the year. She always does, either at the very beginning of a month or the end of the year or something, like the end of the month or the end of the year. She always shows up. So she gave some very encouraging information. All right, give me a second. I just gotta upload this video. Then I'll tell you about the other very unique synchronicities. Oh, come, give me a second. Well, I'm doing real good. I want to thank my tough twin flamers at TTF movement because I put a video out not that long ago. It has a lot of views already, and they hit me with 10 likes. No, this is why it feels good, not because of the likes or the views, but people are listening. Because if you want love, you gotta believe. You gotta put into it. It's not a dating game. Too many people out here, they think it's bubble gum. They think this whole thing is bubble gum. Walk down a boardwalk, get a palm read type deal. No, this is like your life. It means a commitment. This is a sacred union. Alrighty, let me see what's going on here. Alright, we'll put this in. Excuse me. All right, so let's tell you about the unique synchronicities going on. And you may want to watch that video. I'll even give you the title of it, because this will explain the synchronicities a little bit more. My twin flame is coming back! Exclamation point. Venus, Neptune, space, and horoscopes prove true. So they've been telling me for a while. I've been doing videos, but I just haven't been putting them online. I just hit 22 as I said that. I keep seeing 22 all over the place. That's a twin flame number. But I haven't put them online. I just been saving them in a folder. But this one's really good. It's not that long of a video. Because if I put the other ones on, you're talking about a good 4 hours or whatever. Really investigative. They've been guaranteeing me that there's been a change, and you will see her again and stuff like that. So who knows? And I kind of believe it or not. Like, the more you work with the angels, the more what seems impossible becomes a reality. That's why I keep telling people, you got to learn how to work with your angels. Listen to the angels. Don't listen to third dimensional teachings. Don't believe what you think. Don't believe what some other human tells you. All right, so now this person, ironically, she's got some connections to Tennessee or whatever. That's one synchronicity, because I had a friend from Tennessee that actually came here. That was a relationship I had, and one of the dates is very very close. Even age ranges are kind of close. And then when I went outside tonight to pick up a delivery, there was in the west, it was Venus and the crescent moon. And you gotta hear my video. The title I just gave you, gotta learn more, because I did an exhaustive about crescent moon, our mother, the high priestess, the empress, all that's in that video. Twin flame, the dreams, and everything is in that video. Beautiful. And so what I'm trying to tell you is this is kind of confirmation of what I'm being shown. And also it really gets a little creepy, because see, my mother's best friend is this woman's name, and her daughter, like me and her daughter, are the same age. And when I was young, I was always trying to get with her daughter, but her daughter never said yes. But now that we're all older, now her daughter was trying to talk to me, but I was like, nah, because I'm chilling. But her daughter comes over here because my mother watches her friend, because my mother's friend, who has the same name as this woman, that woman is now in a nursing home. So that woman's daughter comes over here sometimes because my mother watches the grandmother. Grandmother's like 90-something years old. She's still alive. So my mother helps look out for her. So that female's always over here too. So all the stuff that went down tonight with Venus and all that stuff is so close. It's unbelievable. I mean, really close. Like, unbelievable. This woman's name and then even one of those dates is so close. It's unbelievable. So these are all synchronicities. What goes on in the universe, and just more confirmation. So that's what's up. So now we have in front of us, I think this is what you're probably looking at, you're looking at the three excuse me, the three natal charts. The woman is at the left, the woman that requested this. See that Tennessee, all three say Tennessee, which is crazy that I'm just double checking everything. And that's what I'm saying. And her color is orange. Anybody who knows Tennessee, the color is orange. Because that's like, I used to live with this person from Tennessee. They came here to be with me. So all this is crazy. And what she used to call herself a certain name back in let me see. You can say around 2000. It's better to just say around 2001. She called herself a certain name. And believe it or not, I actually found her by that name. She still goes by that name. And that was a tough name she had. Like, that was not no easy name for no female to keep. And she kept that name all those years. She's actually still using it as late as this year. That's 15 years later. She's still using that name. That was crazy. Oh, so yeah. So I still got more to tell you, though. This is very interesting. So she didn't have one birth date. So I decided to ask the archangels. for the natal chart all the way to the right, she didn't have a birthday. So this is what I did. I asked the archangels. Now I want you to listen to the archangel's message because they always give messages. The first card that was pulled was Zachiel. That's Gemini, number 3. Clairaudience. So he's telling you to listen to voices you hear inside your head as well as other people because they're talking to you. The archangels are talking to you through these messages. Clairaudience. So like I'm sure I gave you a lot of information that you may not, you're gonna have to pick up. Now another like that one area, Gallatin, Tennessee. When I look at that, because my name is Gat, and I can almost see Gat in that name. Then you have one that says Wilson, and that's the name of another one of my females, my girlfriends from way back in the day. So it's a lot of confirmations there. And then ironically, in my neighborhood, there's a guy named Byron Wilson. It's the Wilson family, but me and him didn't get along when we were younger. But it's a lot of weird stuff, a lot of weird synchronicities that I'm picking up. So you got 3. So the next card that came was Hanael, which is the moon. She said moon cycles. And that's why everybody needs to listen to that video because I talk a little bit about moon cycles because of Hanael. That video was my twin flame, talking about my twin flame. It's coming back. Venus, Neptune, space and the horoscopes prove true. Because keep in mind, they told me this for now over about 2 weeks now. And I've been sitting on it just waiting for some type of confirmation. And it just hit 81. 81%. Another big number with me is 81. This is so freaking cool, all these synchronicities. It's blowing my freaking mind. Alright, the next angel that came out, Archangel, was Raphael. He tells you to breathe. Hanael told you to learn your moon cycles. That information is on your free natal report. And it's also in the description box of this video. The next card that came out was number 8, Jeremiah of Scorpio. Telling you you'll be overcoming difficulties. And then the next card that came out was number 1, Aries, saying prosperity. Aries, Ariel, Archangel, Ariel, or prosperity. So I said, okay, now we're looking for a time. We know it's PM because a moon, Hanael is the moon. So I go, if I get an AM card, I go AM. Like any type of sun card gets counted as AM. And any moon card is counted as a PM. Now, what happens if I come up with a time and then somebody finds the information and goes, well, that's not the right time? Okay, I love to explain this because, you get doubters and you get people that they just look for little stuff to argue about instead of looking for the information. Then I told you I had information. I didn't cry. I didn't look for whatever. I just sat on the information. I asked for confirmation. I just didn't talk about it until I got confirmation. Now I'm talking about it. So it's nothing to bicker about, nothing to cry about. First off, like I said, sometimes they're giving you a message. So maybe the message is more important than the time. And sometimes with natal charts, you can still see it. If you don't have the time, you can still tell if they're twins just by the arrangements and stuff. Just got to use a little common sense. And I've seen people get healed. And let's just say a man has 2 broken legs. And he goes to a preacher, and the preacher prays, and one leg gets healed, but the other one's still broke. So is he going to sit there all day and go, oh, only one leg got healed? Or is he going to thank God for the other one that got healed? Because I'm telling you, if he thanks God for the one that got healed, and he keeps being grateful and keeps believing in faith, he'll probably get the other one healed. Or if not, God will give him the wisdom to get through it. So you don't want to attack the angel. See, me, I don't care too much. See, I'm really tough skinned. I could care less what people think about me. But when they talk about my angels, I get real personal because I know how hard these angels are working and how foolish we humans are. I know how foolish I was because my twin flame was handed to me on a silver platter, a golden platter. I just wouldn't take it because I've been hurt so many times. So it's not a big deal. Look at the message that they're giving as far, even if the time is not correct or exact, look at the message that was given or look at the time so much. That's something that's so minor that can be dealt with as opposed to somebody bickering. Plus, you got to remember when you're dealing with archangels, you're dealing with eternity anyway. You're asking them a very limited question when they deal with eternity. All right. So I didn't know. I said, well, it's no such time as 381. So then I was just going to pick 831 because of the moon. But I said, well, let me ask them again for clarity. So I asked them, angels, please clarify what time. And then they came up with 8, number 8 again, Jeremiah. It says Scorpio, life review. It's time to review your life and balance your life out. Remove anything from your life that's unhealthy. And then it says 6, Metatron, which says prioritize. It's time for you to prioritize. Ask Metatron to help you get organized and motivated. It's time to prioritize. So now, seeing 8 and 3, and 8 came up again. So now I know I'm picking 8. Because I asked them to clarify, and they showed me 8 2 times in a row. So now I know it's 8. But now they're saying I could go between 6 or 8 p.m. because there's no such thing as 6 p.m. or nothing unless you want to go 8:60, and that would be 9 p.m. And I didn't want to do that. That doesn't sound like a flow. So I said, go back to the original, and I said 8:31 p.m. So that's how I came to that number, just so people know. And again, whenever that happens, it's happened so many times. Believe it or not, it's happened so many times that it's been almost dead on. But there's been times when it's been like off. Maybe they were just giving a message as opposed to giving you the time. I don't know. I don't argue with the angels. I don't question the angels, and I don't let other people bully them and stuff anyway. Because when people try to get funny with me, I said, well, why didn't you just have the time in the beginning? Like, why wait till the reading's done and go, oh, that's not the time, and blah, blah, blah. Well, you should have had the time when it was asked for, because we could have waited or whatever. I'm not gonna argue over it. So either we can do whatever we're gonna do, but I'm not gonna bicker either way, because you should have had it. If you could have got it then, you could have got it before. And that's everybody. But we're not gonna make it hard for the angels, because everybody should be saying thank you, archangels, for working so hard. I know what they did for me, and I've seen what they did for other people. So I'm not gonna sit here and find fault. I think that's just very, very, very third dimensional, very silly, very immature. And I hate to say the word, but it's stupid. Like Chris Jericho would say at WWE, you stupid idiot. Or Ren and Stimpy. How many of you remember Ren and Stimpy, okay? So let's not Ren and Stimpy, okay? Let's be appreciative of these angels. Now, let us get started. All right, ascendant. Her ascendant is, again, we have another Virgo. She's Scorpio. She has Scorpio and Aries. So, all right, that's going to be a very passionate, forward moving, and I'm gonna say, she may not like the word, but somewhat of an aggressive. I'm gonna use, because that's two. I just know the energy of Mercury. The energy of Scorpio and Aries is boom, bam, boom. But she also has a lot of finances in that house. Why? Because it can deal with anything dealing with Scorpio or your twin soul can be finances. And when you look right across from her chart, what is she looking at? The twins. Let's see what house that is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See what I'm saying? That's her 8th house. So this is twin flame. She's getting money because of the twin flames. And she's also got a whole lot of twin flame, which I call aggression. And so sometimes people are acting up and they don't realize it's a twin thing going on inside of them. But then you have Saturn. Why is Saturn there? Because Saturn is trying to tell you to discipline yourself. Discipline yourself. And then Neptune is right there. So you got things going on with you. Neptune is in your first house and your second house. So the Neptune is talking to you through your dreams, through your Pisces, through your subconscious, trying to tell you about your twin soul situation. And you got the moon too, and this is in your second house of finances, because I keep telling you, your twin soul relationship, whether you know your twin or don't know your twin or whatever the case might be, you still have financial connections to Jupiter because of your twin soul situation. And that's why in your second house, that's your higher self. And your higher self is you and your twin becoming one. That's Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules your 9th house. That's you and your twin, your higher self, coming together. And the moon is there. Why is the moon there? Because again, we're dealing with that whole twin soul reincarnation type deal. And it's in the second house. We go right to your 3rd house, which is Capricorn. And this is supposed to be your house of communications. So and it has a lack of energy there. So this is work. Capricorn usually means work. Capricorn can be sociable as well. And Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which means discipline. And Capricorn is also rules your 10th house, which means, like I said, your project, your work. So for some reason, you didn't have a lot of energy in this particular house for some reason. and maybe we'll find out the reason why. But your third house will be talking about work matters, Capricorn, attention to detail, things like that. And for some reason, you didn't have a lot of energy for that. We move to your fourth house, which is about family, property, your mom, your mother, ancestors, land. I think we already said the vehicle and the heart. And now that's your true north node. So see, whenever you see that, see, this is why you should read the video on Santos, because you have a unique Capricorn Cancer situation. Because if you notice, in your Cancer sector, you have your true north node. In your Capricorn sector, you have Juno. So you have a unique Capricorn Cancer, so you need to study more about that. Because a lot of times, this is why people have a high Aries energy, because they're not human. They come from a higher than human, but now they're in human bodies, human form, and they're used to having things a certain way, and they still want it in this body. But now you're kind of being subjected to the universe and twin soul, twin flame, and you got to learn how to calm that Aries energy. So there you have it. You have Mars. Mars rules Aries, and it's retrograde. So you even have in Aquarius is supposed to be submission. Aquarius is when both twins say. Aquarius is when both twins say we're together or whatever. They submit. Now, you were asking about your twin and your soul. Right now it's looking like the guy in the middle right now. Just to let you know, it could change, but right now it's definitely looking like the guy in the middle, because if you notice, you got Pluto and Neptune and Scorpio, just like you do over there. Mercury and Virgo, just like you do over there, and your whole sun arrangement and Venus, even though they're in different houses, is so close. Because when I see that, I'm aware that sometimes people can have their time wrong, maybe not. Even your Pluto is in Virgo, his Pluto is in Virgo, his Uranus is in Libra, your Uranus is in Libra, his Lilith, they're both retrograde, is in Libra. His little retro is in Libra, so you can see it. So it looks like you two are definitely connected. And we'll get to the third as well. But let's continue with Pisces. Now Pisces is in your fifth house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have spirituality. Like this is supposed to be your fun house. And you have Pisces there, so kind of got spirituality there, psychic abilities in your fifth house. And that's good fortune. But notice your good fortune is 22. So apparently you needed Pisces in your fifth house to help your twin soul relationship. And if you notice, you're Leo. Leo rules your fifth house, but Leo seems to be in your 10th house. I'm pretty sure that's your 10th house, but let's count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, let me do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And your Neptune, which rules Pisces, takes you right back to your first and second house, and there's Scorpio. So again, this is a twin soul, twin flame type situation. Sixth house is Aries. Like I said, Aries is the aggressive one. Aries says I am. But see, when you're in a relationship, it has to be we are. We are. It can't be I am. So it will mess up your twin soul situation, because your whole twin flame, twin soul is about submitting. Like, she's got it, and it seldom happens, but thank God I do have Angelica. Because it comes a time when a woman has to say, I'm committed to this. It can't be, oh, I'm pissed off. Oh, I'm not happy. Oh, I'm going to talk to somebody else. I'm mad. It has to be time when I'm committed. Let's work this out. Let's communicate. Let's compromise. I'm not just going to sit here and not tell you how I really feel. I'm going to tell you how I really feel, even if it hurts you, if it'll make the relationship better at some point. See, that's somebody that's a little bit more mature, somebody that's a little bit more committed, not just somebody looking out the back door as soon as things don't go their way, or even if they did, because sometimes people go through a lot, and you can see why they tap out. But still, there's supposed to be a fight to stay, not just leave. And not just get quiet either. Not just get quiet and put up with it. So Angelica in my Truth About Twin Flames playlist. And I think the name of her channel was Angel Creations. And you hear her saying in one of those videos, Angelica finally says, you know, I went from hating the twin flame situation to really being upset with it, made me feel insecure, to using magic to try to get rid of him, to finally telling him, I am committed to you. I do have a daughter, I do have a job, but I am committed to you. I just want you to know that. So that's what they're looking for. That's what the universe is looking for. That people obey the universe more than they obey their own third dimensional inclinations. And that's why Aries energy has got to be healed in the 6th house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's Virgo's house, the 6th house. And this is the reason probably why Metatron showed up in the reading. That's why I said we never worry about, oh, it's not the right time. Look at the message. If it's not the right time, then there's a message. There's a reason why they did what they did. Just humble oneself. And then Chiron retrograde is again healing, past life healing of Aries. And 13 is the number of tests, purification and tests, even the number of the serpent. You go into the 7th house of the bull, and believe it or not, the bull in the 7th house could be good, because Taurus is a very loyal when they really like somebody. So if they're in the 7th house of romance, that could mean like they really want a relationship. But Taurus can also mean materialism, because Taurus is the 2nd house of finances, where you have Sagittarius trying to heal everything. And Taurus can also be very stubborn, very strong, very stubborn. So these are all things to keep in mind. Jumping into the 8th house, you can tell this is a twin soul situation, just like I said, because Gemini is right there in the 8th house of the soul house. Other people's money, past life money, soul, with the Scorpio house of lust and primordial activities and things like that. And there's Saturn, because Saturn is saying, slow down, be disciplined, be disciplined. Don't be so Scorpion. You have to learn how to Gemini. Look, didn't I just get from whoever heard my more recent videos, because I just said that too many people are into the Scorpio side of relationships, or twin soul relationships. That's the having sex, acting like animals, all that stuff, the kinky stuff, the passion stuff, all that. But they're not into the Gemini aspect of the twin flame union, which is communication, compromise, loyalty, stuff like that. So that's why Saturn is there. He's saying, hey, listen, you got too much Scorpion energy going on, and you got to learn what a twin flame, a twin soul union really is. You need some discipline. So that's why Saturn's there in the 8th house. And then the 8th house and the 9th house are connected through the vertex cross, and that is a portal that the souls leave and come through. Takes you to your 9th house, which requires nurturing, because you have the Cancer ruled by the moon, and this is your higher self. And you notice how the moon is with Sagittarius, because all of that is nurturing you. And the moon deals with lunar or moon soul reincarnation, but the sun deals with solar ascension, going back to source. So they're trying to nurture you in your 9th house. And then your 12th house, your 10th house, which is kind of like your career house. But there's Juno. So Juno wants a serious relationship, and Venus wants love. And the sun is in Leo, and the Leo is ruled by the sun. So that's a double Leo. So you got all this love going on in your house. Now, and this type of is a unique arrangement, because if it's a twin flame, if it like your 10th house can be your twin flame project, but it could also mean your career. If this is career, this is some type of love, maybe even matchmaking career, because you got Juno there. This is some type of career in love and matchmaking and maybe travel, but romantic travel. That would be that type of career. Leo, some type of leadership position, entertainment, fun position, adventure position. So that would be the type of career. If it means a career path, if it just means your project, which is uniting with your twin soul, it's like it's really looking good, because you may end up in a relationship with someone who is a Leo, because that's what Juno would say, or a Capricorn, because that's your 10th house, or even anybody that's down with them, like with Venus, which could be a Libra or a Taurus. So your 10th house looks really good in that regard. The 11th house, again, should be the house of submission, Aquarius. And there you have Virgo again, Virgo trying to heal. And then you got Mercury which is communications, which is Gemini, and Virgo again. So you got Mercury with Virgo, and Virgo rules Mercury. So it's a lot of communications on healing, which could be, I mean, you got Pluto right there, which is still dealing with the 8th house. So that might mean that there will be, at some point, there will be communication healings to get the relationship going. And see, I see this gentleman's a Leo. And like I'm saying, all I'm saying is, his chart is so close to your chart that I could care less what I'm looking at. I could already tell. Like either his time is wrong, or even if his time is right, I can almost guarantee that his house is mimicking your house. Like his Juno is actually in Leo. His Sun is in Leo. His Venus is in Leo. Because this chart mimics that chart. So there's no way anybody could convince me that they're not the same. As far as the twins. Alright. So now I believe we did your 11th house. And again, Lilith is retrograde. And there goes Leo in your 12th. Libra's in your 12th house to try to address any relationship dysfunctions. Uranus can be about travel. It can be about sudden things that happen. Uranus goes against the status quo. And it's kind of funny because the status quo in this house would be dysfunctions, because that's house number 12. So maybe Uranus is battling against the dysfunctions. If Uranus was retrograde, it would mean internal change. So okay, we did the 12 houses, and again, I will right away go. You see Capricorn in his ascendant, Vesta is retrograde. Your Vesta is retrograde in your Capricorn. He's got Mars in Aquarius. That's his true north node. You have Mars in Aquarius. And that's your true north node. And your Mars is retrograde. His Mars is retrograde. So y'all almost y'all just really imitate each other. Your south node, we already said, I believe, is Capricorn with Leo. His south node is Leo. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I still believe that it might be a time off. He might be wrong by whatever in his time. So I'm not even going to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with it because I really believe his chart would almost mimic yours. I really believe that. And I've seen it before. Like more recently this week I've seen it. And whenever these things happen, they happen in like synchronicities, just like I said. And here, your Chiron retrograde in Aries, his Chiron retrograde. You two almost really image each other. And that's why sometimes you don't get along with somebody because they like mirror you and shit. Like it really is. Taurus and Pallas. Taurus and Pallas. Gemini and Saturn. Gemini and Saturn. Vertex cross and I'm just trying to follow the pattern. Excuse me for a minute. Okay, Kerosene Cancer, Kerosene Cancer. And that's where you have a little change like Venus. But I believe if it was the time, they will line up again. And where's Juno? Juno. Mercury in Virgo. This in his Mercury is almost in Virgo. Just that his Mercury is at retrograde, yours isn't. Pluto in Virgo. His Pluto's in Virgo. Lilith retrograde in Libra. Lilith retrograde in Libra. So then y'all almost mimic each other. So that would be the first thing I deal with. Y'all had to realize that, because maybe that's could be one of the reasons why there might seem like there's a difference, like because you're so much alike. Like I said, most people, they gotta see that this is from the universe, and they gotta realize it's that we humans, we can be very unappreciative. Like I said, the universe can handle something on a silver platter, and we don't trust it because we've been hurt before. We don't believe it, or we feel like, oh, I'm not ready for this. It's interfering with my goals, and so we don't see it like it's supposed to be. Or like, if you never, like, I've never had a lot of money, so I'll be like, how am I going to pay for this? That'd be my first question on almost everything. How am I going to pay for this? I remember one time I walked out my room, and when I came back in, somebody had, I had just got finished talking about a dead friend, and I was making a point that, you know what? This guy was like one of the certified gangsters. He's one of the guys we looked up to coming up. He's like when you read East Side, remember the East Side kids with Satch and those guys? And they had Gabe, remember Gabe was the one thug they looked up to? So he was like our Gabe. This guy was a real gangster, and we just looking up to this guy. But I had a chance to hang out with him, and I had a lot of good times. Like he helped me man up, because one day he tried to torture me down in the basement, but I stood up for myself, and that was one of my great days, because I could have been afraid and just let him bully me, but I didn't. I stood up for myself. So that was one of my great days of coming out of my shell. Like, Al Capone had his moment, I had mine. So I had a lot of good memories with this guy. A lot of thug stuff. Y'all might not think it's a good memory. I'm not talking about like just the other stuff. I just don't want to talk so long ago. But maybe I'll give you this. Maybe him being a little too high. Maybe him doing a few things that he shouldn't have been doing, so I had to stop him. And this dude could punch. I had to take those blows because he was hitting. I had to, I'm still around. He could have killed me with them blows. This dude could punch. So, but I would see him years later when I became a preacher, and I would never preach to him out of respect, I would never preach to him. And so then I said, well, he might have went to if there's a hell, maybe he went. So I told God, I said, well, that's not fully his fault. I said, because I should have preached to him and I didn't. So I asked God to, I started telling God, give him a break. And so I left the room. I was praying, and I left the room. When I came back in, a flashlight had turned itself on. And that's not the first time that's happened. I've had a lot of people from the other side. Like I had a night light they turned on, and another time they turned that flashlight on, because this is how they communicate. So that flashlight came on. So my first response wasn't like, wow, that's amazing. He's saying thank you, or wow, that's amazing. He's talking to me from the other side. My response was, who's going to pay for them batteries? Like, who turned this light on, and who's going to pay for these batteries? So that's always been the type of person I've kind of been, because I've never had a lot of money. So what I'm saying is, when you're third dimensional, that's what happens. God will try to bless you with something, but because your mind is so small-minded, you'll go, oh, wow, you don't accept it. So sometimes that's the case. So some people could say, wow, we're so much alike. It's incredible. Wow, what a blessing. But some people could say, this person really gets on my nerves and stuff. Like a lot of times when you're with your twin flame, you'll say, they never talk. But if you never talk, they probably never going to talk. At least they're never going to talk to you. They'll talk to other people, but they won't talk to you. And you'll get upset because they never talk to you, but they never talk to you because you never talk to them. So it's stuff like that. So you gotta learn to just be thankful. So now we're going to the next house. And again, we'll keep in mind at this time, we're not certain of this time, but what we're looking at is any type of things that resemble. Okay, we got a Pluto, and we got a Uranus situation in Virgo. And really, to be honest, you even got like a Jupiter situation, kind of close as far as the area of the house, like in the first, second house area. But you do have a Pluto Uranus connection to Virgo. Almost. And the reason why I'm saying it is because only we don't know the time, so we're not certain of the time. Then you got a Neptune and Virgo connection, or excuse me, a Neptune and Scorpio connection. And this male has a Moon Capricorn connection. So does this male. So this is how you know that they're all soul groups, but the one that really mimic each other is the two, the first one and the one in the middle, the left and the one in the middle, and this other one is kind of like a soul connection. And this, he has good fortune in Pisces, and she has good fortune in Pisces. Palace. Both of these have Palace and Taurus for the most part. It's close enough. The one on the left and the one in the middle. See, both of y'all have Saturn. See, this is a perfect example though, because you go, oh, I don't think the one in the middle is my twin. I think it's the one on the right because blah blah blah. But the reason why you and the one in the middle have you think that way because y'all are so much alike. And then when you get the charts, you can see why she might feel that way. But if you the chart it, you're just a lot alike, which could be, in some ways it could be a blessing, in other ways it might not be. But that's why, again, more communication and less sex, and that's what they're trying to tell you in the 8th house. Saturn is saying, okay, listen, you're supposed to be having a relationship here. Slow this down. And Juno was saying, Virgo is more talking. Virgo is more like analyzing. They even say criticizing, but Virgo is basically saying, let's work through this. Let's talk this out. And even if you want to say, well, we don't know what time, we're not sure. You said you weren't sure at the time. Okay, well, even Virgo, I'm talking about Juno. Juno wants a serious relationship. So Juno and Leo is still the same thing. Juno with Leo is more fun together, more travel together, it's like more romance together. Like it's more romantic. I'll put it that way. See, the 5th house ruled by Leo is just way more romantic, whereas the 7th house is just more a serious relationship. But if you ask more women what they wanted, as far as I think, some might want a serious relationship, but more of them want to also have life, and that's Leo. That's the 5th house. So that's what Juno was basically saying. Juno was saying, I want to have that the passion in a relationship, and she's with Venus, and Venus is agreeing. So where's Neptune? We already did Neptune. Neptune and Scorpio. We already did it. Neptune and Scorpio. All of them have Neptune and Scorpio. Like I said, that's because they're all a soul group. They're all coming from the same soul group. So that's it. We'd have to go with the twin flames of the one on the left and the one in the middle. Any other one is a soul mate. Sometimes you have to sit down and reflect You know, find some quiet time and sit down on a fleck. Take the relationship on the left and really write and try to make yourself remember. Because first off, nobody's perfect, so we do forget certain things, and you know nobody's perfect. But sometimes we have to remind ourselves because it's easy. It's always gonna be that way. Like I had a relationship where I was in, because this is what they do. This is a universal. You guys may not want to agree with this, but basically you're under some type of, even in the Bible, Jesus says everything you say and do is being written down. That's what you do to lab experiments. And then they tell you, well, at the end of your life, we're going to decide where you go from here. Okay, well, then that's some type of experiment. Because you're saying, okay, sit here and see if you can put this square and this square and this circle and that square, and we're going to score you. And when we're done, we're going to show where you go next. You're going to go to the advanced room, or you're going to go to the back room, because you're going to be retrained again until you get it right. And then that's as they say reincarnation. You're going to do it again until you get it right. So you got to remember that. So when you sit and start to remember, you know, how do we fall in love, how do we meet, and all the synchronicities and all the and you start to remember, you know. But as time goes by, you get to see other people's faults and flaws, you start to forget. And that's what I say. So this is a test. So they send you somebody that is your twin first, or then they'll send you somebody that's kind of like your twin, but in this area, they're better than your twin. So now you're testing your loyalty. That's what it's going to boil down to. Because you're going to forget all the other stuff. You're going to say, like, I had one female I worked with, but I was like really loyal. And I had a relationship that we had, everything was pretty good. You know, there were a few things that could have been better. But I worked with this other female, and I knew, you know, I would cut my hand or whatever, and she would notice it. Like, she'd be, oh, look at your hand, and, you know, touch your hand and stuff like that. Like, now the female I was with was never like that. But we were still close in different ways, but she was never that meticulous, like, to catch stuff like that and hold your hand and stuff like that, for whatever reason. So that was just a way in for the other person, you know. So it's a test to test your loyalty and stuff like that. It's a test, and all that stuff is being recorded because you'll answer for it in the future. And that's really how it goes down. And I wish I could sugarcoat it, but I can't. That's just the truth. Because if I had said, you know what, I could tell she really likes me. I like the way she looks at me. Oh, she notices my hand. She holds my hand. My other one doesn't do that. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna have a relationship with her. Okay, so only thing that's gonna happen. Well, most people know, and it almost happened with somebody else. Because my ex, we used to all work at the same job. It was as teenagers at a restaurant. She actually came there, but me and her had broke up, and I was seeing some other female. This is a brand new female, and my ex knew about it, and she actually came there. And I don't even know how the other one, you know, it was so long ago, I really don't remember. But they almost got into a fight. I had to go like break it in the restaurant, like at the cash in front where the customers are and everything. She came in out of nowhere because she used to work there. And she came in and they saw each other. And the moment they saw each other, they was ready to fight. And this other female, I wasn't even with her. This was something that was new, just beginning. But they were ready. She was ready to fight anyway. So this is how these things happen. You think they're not going to find out. That's why I refer everybody to the movie Fatal Attraction, because that's really how it is. And I showed everybody how that was an experiment. The movie started out with them playing. Him and his wife playing against their friend and his wife. And they were talking about wife swapping and all that stuff, which to me they shouldn't have been talking about anyway. You shouldn't put stuff like that in your mouth because you're putting something into the atmosphere that can become a reality. That can become your worst nightmare because you're taking something that's nothing to laugh about and you're making it seem like it's a joke. So I thought that was, you know, but they were making a point of how frivolous people are. So now he goes to work and he's minding his own business. He's in an elevator and she's in an elevator. They look at each other and they both know they want to do it to each other, but they, you know, he doesn't. But he's a man. He's got a wife. He's got a kid. She's ready. The female's ready, but he's pulling back. So she goes her way, he goes his way. But when they get outside, it's raining, pouring down raining. So they can't go to the train station. So they both had the idea at different times, different locations, but they had the same idea. Oh, I'm just going to go to the bar and chill out until, you know, the rain stops. And unfortunately, when they got to the bar, he gets to the bar after her. She's already sitting there. So now he's sitting down next to her. They start off with small conversation. After a few drinks, getting way more friendly than they should be getting. Next thing you know, he's cheating on his wife. And next thing you know, he's got a psycho broad invading his house and cooking a rabbit in his pot. This is how it happens. One more example. I mind my own business. And this is Venus, because Venus was always bringing me females. I used to sit at this restaurant. Sometimes I would be there with my friends, and other times they wouldn't be around, so I'd be sitting there by myself. It was a bar restaurant. So I usually go in there, have some drinks, or I will go in there and eat. I don't drink no more, but when I used to drink alcohol. And so Venus told me, you're gonna find love tonight. And I said, okay, we'll see. So I went into the restaurant. I'm minding my own business. As I get ready to leave, I actually said to Venus, Venus, I guess you was wrong. I didn't find love tonight. And as I was getting ready to leave, this female came up. And she is one of the finest females in there. She was from Jersey City, New Jersey. Me and all my people loved her. She had some beautiful Egyptian cat eyes. She was real beautiful. She starts talking to me and all that. So me and her starting to talk a little bit. And then it got around New Year's Eve. And I always like to have a kiss on New Year's Eve. But I didn't see nobody. And I was walking out. And I don't want to start nothing, because once you start something, you're going to be wishing you didn't start it. But I was walking out the restaurant to leave. It was after New Year's Eve or whatever. I was getting ready to go home. And she was sitting down, so I didn't see her. So as I was walking by, she said, oh, see you later, bye, or whatever. And she gave me a kiss. And that was New Year's Eve. But let me take you back before that happened, or after that happened. I forget which one. Venus was always following me. This is a true story. Planet Venus me and Venus have had a great relationship since 2004. I call her my sister. Venus was always following me all over the place. So because Venus had brought me this female, one night I was there and I wanted to show the female Venus. But Venus was in a cloud. But you could see her shining, but it was in a cloud. So I told this female, I said, come here for a second. She said, what do you want? I said, come outside. She said, come outside for what? She said, I hope I don't get in trouble. I said, you won't get in trouble, only take a second. I said, come outside because I want to show her Venus. So by the time I brought that female outside to see Venus, Venus had came out of the clouds, like, and was shining bright, then like to meet her. That's not the only time that's happened. Another time, man, this dude, because he was real supernatural, just like I was. Me and him was talking about all the supernatural stuff that nobody talks about. And me and him was talking about one of those third house Gemini, Scorpio conversations. And Venus was in the clouds again. And as we started talking about Venus, she came out. Just like a woman, if you're in a house and a woman's there, you start talking about her, she's going to stick her head in and be like, are y'all talking about me? And that's what Venus did. So me and him was laughing about that, because Venus came out them clouds like, are y'all talking about me? So all this stuff is true, whether you choose to believe it or not. It's all true. And you're seeing it on the chart. You just choose not to believe it, but you see it right there on the chart. And I'm a Leo, and you see Venus with Leo. And I just showed you on my other thing. You're going to see some stuff on that video I told you all to watch. All right. So now what am I trying to tell you? So this is what happened. So now I'm thinking me and this female might hook up. So I'm there working, and I found out that he was hitting her. Like, I didn't even know she had a boyfriend. So now I find out that he's hitting her. So now I'm mad. You know, because first off, me and her just started talking, so it had nothing to do with me. It's not like me and her, because we never had a relationship. But this is how the world works. I've seen this my whole life. And this is how people ruin their whole lives, like on that fatal attraction stuff. Because it's a test and you're being played out, but we go with our feelings and we don't realize we're being played out. We don't realize all the synchronicities are happening for a reason. You're being set up. So I don't like the guy because he hit her. So sure enough, I'm sitting in there, and then he's sitting across the bar, like to my left, not across from me, because we probably would have started fighting. Because he would have been staring at me, I would have been staring at him. We would have started fighting. But he's to my left, so I know he's sitting there, and I know he thinks I'm messing with his girl, which I'm not. I didn't even know this dude. I don't even get down like that, because I would hate for somebody to do that to me. So I'm just sitting there, but I don't like him because he hit her, and plus he's trying to act like he's some type of tough guy. So I'm ready to get it on. I'm not with all that preliminary stuff. Let's do it. So anyway, whenever I'm in whenever I was at a bar, if I thought somebody was eyeing me, I would always go in the bathroom, let them come in there, and then we could solve it. Some of the problems, some people have come, and usually we work it out, or whatever happened, because I never really cared. But I would just go in there and just wait for them to come in and see, you staring at me out here, get it on. Let's not play games. You got a problem, let's do this. But the point I'm trying to make to everybody listening is that I was being set up, whether it was Venus or not Venus. Either way, I was being set up by the universe, because first off, I didn't do nothing with this female, so he had no reason to be mad at me. But something must have happened with her that made him insecure, because he literally punched her. She had a black eye. She had a black eye and everything. But I just don't like the dude for what he did. But at the same time, you learn certain things in life, because if you knew how many females I tried to save and got my not beat up, but how many females I tried to save. One time a female punched me in my face because some dude was whipping her ass. Oh yeah, and my friend I'm talking, the gangster, he was beating up a female one night, and I dived in between, so he's punching me. I took all the blows. Guess what? Within a week, that became his girlfriend. Another female getting beat up by a guy. She punches me in the face. I'm trying to help her. She basically punches me in my face and tells me to mind my business. So you kind of learn to stay out of people's business. So since I wasn't with her, I didn't know her like that. And the main thing, I just wanted him to know that I'm not the one. Like, I'd be your worst nightmare. I'm not into all this games. I don't play games. So he knew not to cross. That's why when I went at and just he knew what I was doing. Because guys know, once you go in that bathroom, dudes know. Just like any dude that been to school, you know how many fights go down in the bathroom. So everybody knows. That's just a rule. We got beef, there's a bathroom right there. So he ain't come in there. He ain't want to work. So to me, it was cool. There was nothing else I could do, because that's the choice who she wanted to be with. You want to be with somebody that's putting their hands on you, you foolish. I told my sisters the same thing. My sisters used to get their asses kicked on a regular. And I used to fight for them. After a while, I got sick of fighting. I said, listen, I ain't fighting for y'all no more. I said, from now on, if you stupid enough to let a man hit you, you're going to get what you deserve. But then they got smart. Especially, like I said, my youngest sister finally grew up out of that thug shit. She stopped dating thugs. And my older sister's no longer with us. So that's the end of this video. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is sometimes we just got to fall back sometime. Work on better communications. Be thankful that we have somebody in our lives, because a lot of people don't have anybody. And you got to realize you are being set up. And you got to realize that everything you do is being written down. And you got to answer for that at the end of your life. So you want to keep that in mind. And, things do happen in life. I'm aware of that, but I just try to warn people so that they can think a little bit more, because you live in a planet, and you live in a country, you live in a world that makes you think that one day you ain't gonna meet your maker, but every one of us is. This is Gat. If anybody's interested in any of the things you see out here on this channel, or any questions you have, let me know through the description box below, and I do have a list I send out. And again, you may have some questions, because like I said, some people think all I do is twin flames. I do everything. So ask questions and we'll see. This is Gat. Thank you for listening. God bless.